Hello everybody, how are we doing? Just want to provide a little bit of info for mp1. I'm going to log into my system here, go over the mp1 hints, and hopefully provide some satisfaction to get that done. So when I get into the system, notice I sometimes do ls, which is list files and directories, so I can see what I got out there. Sometimes I can do like clear screen, start from scratch. Those are good sort of commands to make life easy for you. If you get a screen full of stuff, clear is good. So I'm going to cd into my mps directory, change directory. If I always want to go down a directory, I just do cd space dot dot, and that's standard sort of command line terminal commands. It's always good to know where I'm at in my directory listing or tree. Sometimes pwd, present working directory, or print working directory command is very good, and I can hit that, and I also see where I'm at in my path. So if I change, for instance, directory to MPS, and I do PWD, or I can even up arrow. Sometimes you can up arrow or go up and down your arrows to see prior commands, good for instant execution, things like that. If I PWD again, I can see I'm now in the MPS directory, and where we did before, we created our directories, or however many directories you created, you can see things there. So if I go ahead and cd to 1, I'm going to now start the mp1, and mp1 is pretty well laid out on our hints, and pretty much you can do it right off that hint list. I'm going to sort of get it going to copy the directory information that's on the server, and I can get opening file data. Sometimes they give you some good hints, some starter code. They'll give you up to right here, at least the comments, which are nice, so you don't have to type that out or copy that in. So if I go ahead and just copy that in, hit enter, and we should see then that I have my mp1 there. Okay, so now I want to use my favorite editor. You can use your Emacs, you can use Pico, it's up to you. I'm just going to do this, and I get that starter stuff. So what I want to do is I want to sort of get that information here, pull that to get the remaining code working, and I'm just going to do the C++ example. We see some notes and comments there, and there we go. I'm going to fill in a very important part. Always at the beginning, you want to fill in your variables. And to fill in variables, you sort of want to declare things in this class as integer or floating type, which is double. Okay, that goes for Java. For Fortran, it's called real, like real number, precision number. I want to start typing in the information here, which is going to be right from our program, which gives us that hints, the documentation sheet rather. Let's start typing in our code a little bit, what we want as important variables. So I will choose some things that are going to be needed for gathering data. So always look at your input. I need some points, 2 points, x1 up to y2. And I want to do some formulas as noted in the sheet later down, where I want to do some calcs. I want to, for instance, perform some calculations perhaps for k value. And I want to perform it for n naught and things like that. And eventually I do things for display. So programming is always input, process, output, display. But I need my variables to help me out with that. So let me go ahead and type in some things here. Double x1, and I can comma separate. Doesn't matter the order. But I'm going to lock and load, what I need. N naught output is at 0. And we go ahead and do pretty much what is going to be necessary for the input, processing, and output. And there we go. We don't have to give any initial values. C++ is pretty good on that for your main declaration there, main function. And just know that main always is going to be the trigger that starts the program for Java and C++. That's our main module, let's say, that the system looks at for execution. So I'm going to just sort of take a little bit of time here, and I'll just copy this here, the starting part. We want to sort of guide the user. Please enter in an x1 point. So always good to have new line or endl, and it's cleaner a little bit that way. And of course, if I have an output statement, I need an input, so I do cin. So Java is similar to this with its scanner. Fortran uses what's called read versus write. For Java, you use a scanner for reading in data, for doubles and integers or whatever, reading a line of data. And you have, of course, for Fortran, you have the write to write out data, read to read in data. So C++ is pretty easy. C out, output data, C in, read data. And so I'm going to say, okay, I need that x1, so I will do x1. Now continue the same way here. So let's copy this over and do the same for the other points. Let's see if I can do this pretty easy. Boom. 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 Now the calcs, right here, we give you some hints for the calcs. The calc for that part for K is given here. So we want to sort of grab this right here, this part right here, and we'll paste it right in. Now we do have the K part. Oops, my bad there. Should not have that. Let me do an undo, Control U. Sorry about that, or Control K. We do the calc for K right here. Jump the gun a little bit. Got my output before our processing. Don't want to do that. So we'll just paste it right there. Okay, all right. So I got my K. Just make sure sometimes when you copy in, if you're copying, watch the symbols if those operators are correct, parentheses, because, you know, it could be different format of the font. And we not like things. Log comes from our math library. Do we have a math library? Yeah, we do. So for basic plus, minus, we don't need the math library, CMath, but for everything else, we do have that importation that's needed, okay? So log, exponent, those are our buddies from the math library. So we import that, and we're able to use directly the functions. Just like a calculator, we can pull up the data there. Now, if I stopped and run right now, I could see that I have no errors, hopefully. If I exit out, I can do my G++ or whatever command line compiler command that you have. So let me do this here, and I'll do -o. Okay, watch what we have, not MP0 now, but MP1. Watch what we have as O's versus zeros. Sometimes that can be tricky. And always make sure I'm in the right directory when I'm doing my work. So when I submit, I want to be in directory 1 for MP1. Okay, so make sure we change directory to these needful folders. Okay, hit enter, and I get errors. Okay, all right. Usually if I have errors, that's a good sign. Something where maybe I have, if I correct the first one, the next lines will be okay. Hopefully they'll adjust to the following line. So I'm going to up arrow, go back to my Pico, and it looks like I can do Control WT. Remember, go to the line. I don't have that extra left bracket. Good thing I check. Hey, so when I copy in, watch what you copy in there. You know? Okay, so we're good to go there. It's my typing that was horrible. Right? Okay, now we're good. Save it, Control O, enter, Control X, exit, recompile, we're good, we're clean, okay? I don't want to run it because really nothing there to run. So finish up here, and when you get your downtime here, lines here, calculations, you're pretty much going to do these values here. Now we're going to calculate K, so we're going to need to copy in that. We copied K, we're going to need to calculate N naught, and then it's going to get us closer to that interpolation. And we have the EXP, which is a built-in function. Notice that EXP is going to take some log to some, EXP is going to take a power, and it's going to get fed by that log minus this. So it's really doing something along the lines here. It's doing these commands where we are taking this into consideration. Okay, so we want to look at the growth, which is very important. And when you test it and run it, you should get something here to use the test points always we give you on every MP hint. That way you know you're in line, because that's what I use to test for my stuff to check against you guys. So hopefully this helps, guys, and you'll be on your way. Follow the modules here. Look at a little bit of the hints. I think everything's on the file here that can give you your responses. So look exactly what's needed here. It gives you the formula, gives you sample information, and you should have enough data to go by to get your end results. Okay, so please check that there. It's going to give you the hints, and it's going to give you that display outcome. So make sure that we're looking at each of these to fill in, and that way it guides you. Okay? So those are going to be some of the outcomes we're going to need here. We got everything up to the last two, which tells you 8, 9. You got to do a little bit on your own. Prompt for the X interpolated value and get the Y interpolated value result outcome based on your X interpreted value. Okay, so that gives you that there. I think we give you a model here to run. And again, this is going to be something here which is going to give you the details for your output. Okay, so please check the coding logic there. It's going to give you exactly what you need for responses for the ending points. What do I need to complete? So when I run it, we should be good to go. So if I exit here, I do have something. If I do my output on one guy I gave as a test, I do 1, 2, 2, 4. I get everything, and I'm going to get the prompts. See how important prompts are. I'm going to do that and get my outcome, and then I'll do my submit. Hope this helps. Take care. See you next time.